Do it again, Jake. Jake, come out here and show them what you got here. Dude, exactly. Nailed it. I'm Rich.
I'm Frank.
And it's People, Pints, and Possibilities.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Got it. All right, welcome to beautiful Paso Robles, California. We are at California Coast Beer Company. We're actually in the den right now. I'm the Vibe Titan.
Dabbler, just dabbling around.
Just dabbling over here. We got a great day. Before we get to our wonderful guest here, I want to say subscribe. You got to hit the subscribe button and you don't get a magazine. You don't have to buy 10 CDs for a penny. Nothing happens other than it tells you when our next, podcast comes out. That's it. It lets you know that we are kicking ass.
And if it sucks, you can unsubscribe.
If it's
give it a whirl.
You can, you can always the commitment level. We don't need your ID or social security number or anything like that.
Don't like it.
All right, this person we have today. First of all, do you have a nickname?
The only nickname we could come up with is high school nicknames, but
yeah,
we'll
lovely.
We'll get there. He's got 20 years of government experience. Has worked in different cities. Paso Robles currently, AG, Santa Maria. He's got 3 wonderful kids and a beautiful wife. And the fun fact is, Ryan Cornell, you are a hockey fan.
Very diehard.
And he even wore
the only thing I care about.
He wore his LA Kings shirt. He probably brought that up because he knows that we know nothing about hockey.
Well, ice involved.
If there's only thing you need to know is fuck the Sharks.
Wow. He just went hard right now. He went hard.
Right out of the
but
gate.
It didn't sting anyone in this room because we don't know anything about hockey.
But if you want to go back to nicknames, we could go way back when, and they used to call me Corn Nut and Cornball or
Corn Nut works.
Or Corn Huskers.
That's unfortunate.
One of those ones,
they did the corn play.
The
I
Ryan
like that.
Cornell. Now they call you boss.
Something like
to your face.
They let me pretend I'm the boss or something along those lines.
All right. City treasurer / admin services. We're going to get into that. It sounds like a lot.
What is it?
Yeah, the admin services is the core position of the job. City treasurer is the elected fancy position. And it's actually kind of a subset of the overall director position.
Is that other duties as assigned?
Other duties as assigned by our voters of Paso Robles, yes.
Other duties as
City
assigned.
treasurer. Do you just roll around in gold coins and swim and do all that?
Yeah, but it's not my gold coins.
Damn.
So it's kind of weird. It's
our gold coins?
Yeah.
Can't wait to see them.
Okay.
So yes, that's what the city treasurer is. It's mostly investing idle funds for the city.
Okay.
What's the admin service side do?
So the admin services side is pretty loaded. It oversees 3 major divisions: human resources, finance, and information technology. So if anybody in the city needs money, people, or technology, more than likely than not, they're going to have to come through my department.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sounds like a lot. We're gonna dig in on all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's much easier too when you have good leaders that help lead each one of those divisions, and
absolutely
you have trust in those.
I bet you got some fun stories on the HR side, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely changed my life. Yeah.
And the people,
when they say HR changes your life, there's
100%. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt.
Spoken as an HR guy. The people matter, so we start with people, and our motto here is we bring people together and leave them better. That's our purpose. And then the people part is beer brings us in, but the people keep you coming back. And so the beauty here is, we got to start with you and who you are. So tell us a little bit of history about Ryan.
Going way back in 1982, right? Way back. No, actually, I grew up in LA. I was born and raised down there. Parents grew up there, and then when I was 9 years old, so right around the early 90s, they moved to Napomo. And I don't know if you guys know Napomo back in the early 90s. There really wasn't much there. Yeah. And so going from a pretty large urban center to nothing was a little bit of a culture shock for a 9-year-old. But to be perfectly honest, I'm very blessed with the upbringing that I was able to have in South County. So I've slowly moved my way to North County. I graduated from Arroyo Grande High in 2000. Went to Cal Poly, graduated from there in 2005. stayed around the Central Coast, kind of bounced around in 5 cities area. And then in 2013, we moved to Templeton and finally made the trek over to North County. And honestly, it's the best decision ever. Growing up as a kid, going to the North County there's only a bunch of, cowboys and hicks and dry dirt and hot.
They did a parade after.
And then actually living here for, about a decade now. Yeah, that's definitely not the case. And
No.
We stayed in a beautiful area, that's for sure.
We actually get a lot of people who come in and stay in Paso now who are from SLO, and grew up in SLO and San Luis, and 100% legitimately are like, if you told me that I was going to come to Paso Robles and I was going to stay here and actually like have a weekend, I would have thought you were crazy.
Right.
And now you help build that.
Yeah, and now I go back down to Pismo Beach, and it's like, it's cold. Why would anybody want to live down here?
Agreed. No, I like the weather. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you growing up, what you were fired up about.
It's an interesting question because I don't know what inspired me. I just know at a very early age, maybe because I lived in the middle of nowhere in Napomo, that if I needed to get anywhere, if I needed to do anything, it was on me. So
yeah.
All my friends grew up in AG, right? That's where everybody was. And so when I turned 16, it didn't take me very long to get my driver's license and then we can go.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
But along those same lines, though, it's like that it entailed work. My parents weren't going to give me gas money or a free car or anything like that. So very early on in an early age, it instilled that, no, you have to work for everything that you get. And it started, I got a job when I was 16 working at Vaughn's grocery store as a bag boy, courtesy clerk.
Yeah.
Worked my way up through that quietly through that store and that organization. At the same time, I started getting into hockey and hockey officiating, and that brought another couple of extra bucks into the bank account too. So
AG, you got into hockey?
In AG, I got into
it's
hockey.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a loaded story. So interestingly enough, my parents told me that when I turned 10, I could actually start playing ice hockey. Right, that was like kind of the big thing.
They wanted you to get in fist fights after you were 10.
Yeah, after I was.
There was no ice.
Well, this was down when I was still in LA.
Oh, okay.
And then what do they do is let's move to Napomo when I was 9, and then there's not even roller hockey.
Yeah.
But truth be told, I was one of the first players on Paulding Middle School basketball asphalt playing roller hockey for one of the first leagues for the YMCA. That had been like 8th grade, so that was probably 98-ish.
The old stick ball where you had the net and you were just like in PE.
Yep.
And you were badass.
But you're on rollerblades.
I was on rollerblades, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's even
At
better.
that time.
That's getting closer. I like it.
I was on XJ900s from Kmart.
The little quads.
Yeah. No, they were badass. They were really fast.
Walk up walls.
Yeah, the kids didn't make fun of me at all, I swear. Payless Shoe Source. Shout out. Right? All right. Well, so you're playing hockey. You learn to work. Tell us about work. What do you mean work? Like, what do you mean? Grind it out? Like,
Wait, hold on. Can we get back to the affiliation? Or are you affiliated hockey?
Affiliated hockey. What do you mean by that?
Officiated hockey?
I officiated hockey. Yeah, so...
Sorry, I couldn't read his writing.
My Frank's or mine, right? Or both. So after I turned 18 and I couldn't play hockey, tournament hockey was done and travel, my parents weren't taking care of me anymore, and I could,
Right, you're on your own.
On my own, and so I transitioned to officiating hockey.
Okay.
So refereeing hockey.
fun fact right now. The more you know.
The more you know.
No, keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
But that it was perfect timing where I was 18 to early 20s and meeting the guys, and it was a whole different team and a different perspective of the game I loved. I'm not playing hockey, but being on that side of the officiating side, and the teams that we built and the camaraderie that I met during those years, it stayed with me, to this day now. And it taught me a lot, right? It's like the best players or the best officiating crew were the ones that worked the hardest. They were the ones that were in the gym early in the morning. They were the most fit. They were the ones that took feedback the best. It instilled that kind of that core principle for even now where I work for the city.
So team sports, go ahead.
How did you get into that? Like, was it training? Because there's no ice hockey around here.
Yeah, there is. There's
on the Central Coast
skating, isn't there?
No, the closest, the two
In San
two
Luis?
closest rinks is in
Santa
Bakersfield.
Maria. no, Bakersfield
is the closest ice rink, and then you have Goleta.
That's a good question. Then
So
I'm
you
used
would
to
go and go
Fresno.
train.
They
Yeah,
have,
see what I mean?
they have a
You look
rink.
dumb.
The Falcons.
Yeah,
it's the
take
Fresno
that.
Falcons, buddy.
No, interestingly enough, when my dad went to junior college in LA, the coach happened to have an inn at the Great Western Forum, and so he became an usher. Just ushering people around. And when you work at a forum like that, you don't just see hockey games; you see basketball games and concerts and everything like that. And so, he started watching hockey at home, and they were telling me because I guess I don't know if this is true, but from what I've been told, I was a little bit of a handful when I was a kid. So when I was when I was bouncing around, throughout the house, he would throw the hockey game on, and all of a sudden I would just sit still and just watch. And so from that on, it was just
you watch them bounce around. You're like, yeah,
maybe that's what it was. I was
You're like, I don't have to do it.
And honestly, that was it. And even when we came up to Napomo or in SLO County, that was a passion that I'd stayed through and through.
And so you'd officiate all through the West Coast, California, or
So interestingly enough, the core base was LA. That was kind of where, and I had family still, friends and family still living there, so I was able to kind of crash on their couches while I was kind of doing these.
Hence the Die Hard Kings.
3-day couch surfing tournaments, but. Where were we going with
that? It stuck with you. No, you're talking about
where did you officiate?
Where did I go? Sorry. Yeah, as you kind of go up, you do local tournaments down in LA, but I went far as north as Vancouver, did a setup there, did collegiate hockey, collegiate roller hockey. We did a USA Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. That was probably the biggest tournament that I was a part of. But yeah, ice up and down San Jose and LA mostly. But
that's cool.
Great experience. And again, it's nice outside the rink when you go back to the hotel rooms, right? Because all these guys we're all traveling together too, and that's the team building. That's the camaraderie that you.
It taught you. You just
the beer drinking.
Taught you leadership, accountability, teamwork, hard work,
conflict resolution.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
once or
beer
twice.
drinking. Yeah.
But then, honestly, with conflict resolution, sometimes you just need to shoot the shit with them too, and all of a sudden they realize oh yeah, you're human as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And so, and I think that's what this great, and I didn't tell you this earlier before when we first started. Thank you guys for inviting me on the show and everything you guys are doing for the community and what you guys going on here.
We appreciate that.
Greatly admire everything you got going on, and it inspires me to be perfectly frank, and it kind of does remind me of those early years too.
I'd take a lot of credit. Rich is here for the ride.
Rich is here for what?
The ride.
The ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
The early years. No, you're right. It's about what you're talking about. That's why we ask about the people. Well, thank you, number one. But
Yes,
it's about
thank you.
that
That's
feeling.
kind words.
When we're young, we have this idea, the possibilities at the end, that anything is possible, that we can do anything. You ask a child, what do you want to do? They want to play in the NFL. They want to be a movie star. They want to be, these audacious things. And we should never lose that, by the way.
No, you shouldn't. And
No.
to be perfectly frank, when I was early on, right, maybe it wasn't NHL hockey that I wanted to officiate, or I think I was able to, but definitely minor league hockey.
Why not?
That was definitely in the equation.
Well, and if that was your number one passion, I believe you're obviously intelligent enough, you're strong-willed enough, you have the resilience. You could have done it if that was your absolute calling and you wanted to travel the United States or travel everywhere all the time, you would have done it.
True. And that's why it stopped. At one point in time, and we haven't got to the career part of this yet, but when I first graduated from college, I was working for an audit firm, and that took me outside of the city too, where I was traveling to different clients to actually be on site at those different places. And there were stints where I was out of the house for 28 days in a row between audit work and then officiating work and then going back out to audits. There was really no time back at home. There was no home base. And if the family, then that's kind of what was what priorities changed. And that's what really kind of changed everything.
And what was it? Because we dig in on that. So you were successful at all these different stops. We've been successful. Obviously, it's not always. There's failure inside of those. But what was it that made you or created success for you in each one of those stops? What were the key characteristics in there? Whether you were a hockey official, whether you were studying in school, whether you were, playing, what were the key components that created success for you?
And that's a really good question because it's at least for me, even today, right, the day to day, I don't feel like I do anything. But it's almost like the drip effect I was kind of talking about too, where it could be positive and negative. Where it might not be big things, but it's just a little constants. And then
the effect. What was the effect we were talking about?
It's called
earlier?
the drip effect, and it can be both
drip effect.
Dripped. Drip.
Got it.
I need
Yep, you're all right. No, you're all right. So it's a dripped effect, and it's like a drip from a hose, right?
From a hose or a fountain, whatever
yeah.
it is, and you have a cup there, and just over time, just that drip will eventually fill up the cup, and then on a negative basis, it might overflow the cup.
Meaning it's the small things. It's just the little things, right?
Right.
It's a lot of those things. You had to have setbacks in there, right?
Absolutely. Setbacks are part of the path, right? And I was talking to you about this last week about I have a three realities or three aspects of reality, and it's uncertainty, pain, and constant work. And it's no matter what you do. I could be the healthiest person on the planet. I could walk across the street and get hit by a car. Right?
Yeah,
There's no certainty, and I haven't met anybody in this world that hasn't gone through pain.
Yeah.
And so once you kind of just embrace that these are just part of the aspects of life, I feel like you approach these adversities a little bit differently. Where
absolutely,
this is a problem. Fun. Okay, this is just part of life, and
temporary.
It's all about how I get around it, and what am I learning from this? Constant learning and constant work.
So you went from hockey, and I want to build on what you're saying. You went in as an auditor. So 2 quick questions. We're going to back up. Do you still get on the ice?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been on the ice.
Well, your ankles are stronger than mine. And then number 2, as an auditor, if I was to get a letter in the mail and saying Calco's getting audited
and owes $180,000,
well, no. My mindset is, holy shit. As the auditor, is your mindset I'm going to go in and help this guy, or I'm going to go in and fuck this guy?
You jumped ahead a lot, by the way.
It has to do with mindset, honestly. Because as an auditor, I never went in that mindset.
Right. But you're the bad guy in our mind.
And it's going to eventually get to city business too, where it's like there's a core purpose and a meaningful purpose for the city and a meaningful purpose for auditors as well. And it really was. It was just, I have a job. This is my responsibility. This is what the state came down and directed us to do. And we're just making sure that we're holding ourselves accountable. I don't want to get anybody I never wanted to get anybody in trouble.
It's not personal.
And even when I was officiating, like when guys were being idiots, I was like, no, I don't want to call a penalty on you. Stop being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Follow the rules.
Excuse me, sir. I'm going to need you to get off the ice.
Time out for 2 minutes.
So you go through school. You go through Cal Poly. You're an auditor.
I was curious.
That's all right. No, you're fine. So what's your first official big person job? You're getting a real paycheck.
My first real grown-up job.
Yeah, you can actually buy a car if you want, or buy some goods.
It
and
was
services.
an auditor.
That was the first job out of college, but no, honestly, it was good. Take a step backwards. It was actually the Vaughn's grocery career.
Oh, yeah.
Even though that was my high school job,
when
I first got into Allen Hancock and I got promoted to the meat department.
Yep.
Nice.
Dude, solid get.
What was tri-tip going in back then?
I don't know how much tri-tip was going, but I can tell you the code. It was 1602, which is crazy how you still remember those weird little.
I do. I remember Century Maintenance Supply when I was in college, air gaps for the toilets were like 4,200.
Yeah. Top Sterling, 1040, 1070 for value pack, right? Like it's still there.
That's
1010 for
that's called indoctrination.
He likes numbers.
Hey, indoctrination.
It eventually benefited me.
Yeah,
somehow in the future of life.
So you're at Vaughn's.
So I'm at Vaughn's. I get promoted, and I work in the meat department. And it's actually interesting. The person and I'm going to tie this eventually in the future too, of the person that trained me initially in the meat department. Went through that, gained experience, gained leadership, and I transferred to Cal Poly. And again, we haven't touched luck yet, but this is part of my whole theory about luck. And I got transferred to SLO San Luis Vaughn's as a seafood manager, got promoted on that position.
Crab legs now.
And so,
what's that code?
I don't know. Expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
there's plenty of stories of us messing
I
with crowd legs
believe
too,
it.
yeah, for sure. But what was interesting about that whole promotion and that hiring incentive is there was an individual that was working in the meat department at that store in SLO that was supposed to get it. He was guaranteed to get it. He was already doing it interimly, and I was the other person from the outside. Just I'm going that direction, so I'm gonna throw my name in the ring, and then I get the promotion.
Oh, you made friends.
You got did you get a
You made
grievance?
friends.
Did you get a union grievance? You might have.
We're not on the union part quite yet.
All right.
Quite yet,
sorry.
but no, yes, I did
right.
not make friends when I first walked in
No.
to that environment. But again, drip effect.
Very structured.
sure.
So,
Slowly but surely, it became very clear of why it is.
so hold on,
And
to clear that up, because I love that concept. You're saying in your mind, because you did the right things and you're working your ass off and you're working hard and you got up there, something opens for you and good things happen to you because of the work that you've put in, and nothing in there is major. Is that what you're saying? Like, it's all just a number of little things.
Number of little things.
Yep. I love that.
And when it comes to luck, I had a group of roommates between wives. We had a whole conversation. It was a whole weekend. I love that time in my life when we would debate about luck. And at the end of the day, it was when opportunity and work or
preparation.
Preparation. Thank you. Collide, and that's when luck happens. And so you have to prepare. And if you're not prepared and those opportunities come around, you're not going to get lucky.
Yeah, it's also karma. So people misread karma. They think that karma is like, if I do something bad's going to happen to me, and that's absolutely not what it means. In India, what it means is the original concept was the things that I have done up to this point place me right here in this location. Like, I'm right here with the skills and abilities and the things that I've learned and the things that I've seen, and they placed me here. Now, what I do with them right here is what they really believe in karma, right? So it's somebody getting the job, but it's like you didn't get the job because you studied the night before. You got the job because you've done those things consistently, day in and day out. You've impressed somebody, and so that's a beautiful way to look at it.
Yeah, and it goes back to the team and people, right? And I didn't do that by myself. I soundboarded off of plenty of people of, hey, I'm an outside person coming into this. What do I need to do in order to get walk away with an impression?
Yeah.
And it was 100% you need to be wearing a tie.
What?
A tie.
Oh, no.
A tie.
Dude, you and Frank are not going to be friends.
But when it was juxtaposed against the other guy that came in just in his regular Vaughn shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah, no, that's
Hey,
a big
look
one.
good. Look the part, right?
Oh, yeah.
Look like you mean business.
And,
want it.
and the other part too was long-term goals, right? Make sure they're going to ask that question. Most good businesses should ask that. What are your short to long-term goals?
Where do you want to be?
And where do you want to be? Make sure you have a solid answer for that.
Yep.
And as a kid, I
in?
didn't know that. It was because of the mentors and the people that I networked.
The relationships you built and the mentors.
So
So
you
we're
go
going to get to.
So you go to Cal Poly, just to fill in the gaps, you go to Cal Poly, you get the job up there, and now you graduate. At what point do you realize you want to be in civil service?
Oh, I don't.
A public servant?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You didn't go up there and
What
say,
did you
I
wanna
can't
be
wait
in?
to work for the city.
Oh no, I went to college, and so I was supposed to have a profession. I was supposed to have a career.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, you have one.
Well, no, I do now. But
Congratulations.
Well,
Thank you.
it worked out.
I'm glad I did something right.
What was a career in Ryan's mind when he was in college at 21 years old?
So yeah, who knew? Like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 24 years old. Who
A
knows?
doctor, a lawyer,
No, I knew
what
I was
was
doing accounting, right? I knew I was in finance.
All right,
I knew
accounting.
I had
Yep.
the business aspect of it, and this is what I'm going to tie the initial training Vaughn story to. I went in for an interview, right? There was the Cal Poly, and that's what's great about Cal Poly, right? They
Learn by doing.
They create an environment where employers can come in high school or college or graduates can come and figure out jobs and pass. And I looked down the list and I was like, okay, I'll apply for these 3 or 4 positions and we'll see what happens. The very first interview I go into, it's for an audit firm out of Santa Maria, Moss Levy Hartzheim.
Shout out.
Shout out to them. Completely changed my life. And the person that was interviewing me was actually the person that trained me to be the meat department clerk at Vaughn's. So I see the name on the list. I go, that's odd. That's the same name. It's Bretzel. It's not like it's a,
Yeah, not a Jones or
Yeah.
a Smith.
No.
Yeah.
But I walk in and we walk in, and so it wasn't even an interview. It was just more of a catch up. What have you been doing for the last
what's
5
up?
years?
Yeah.
And our paths recollided. And he's like, this is what the job does, and this is what it entails. And yes, we have to travel, and so we're going to be out, 5 days a week, some of the weeks.
And you said sign
And
me
I
up?
said, sign me up. This sounds great.
Auditing.
Okay.
Auditing, finance.
Everybody's
Okay.
got their passion. So you're just fired up about P&L statements and balance sheets, or how does that work? Like, do you see them at that time? Do you know, like, I'm going to be good at this, or are you just taking a job? That's a good question.
No, that is a good question. And no, it was.
You
I
can't
was
say
no,
your
I,
own question's a good question,
no,
by the
but
way.
no, it,
Because I'm like,
no.
man,
To be fair,
I
I was just taking a job.
Well, you can't give yourself your own nickname. Dabbler.
Fair enough.
All right. Touche.
But no, I was just taking a job, right? It was. I knew Vaughn's
Yeah.
wasn't the
Yeah.
long term.
And we all did.
Oh, yeah. You got
When
bills
you're
to
young,
pay.
right?
I need some.
And yeah, I did 4 years of 5 years of college for a reason. It
Yep.
wasn't just to stick around for
What was the pay on the first job, by the way? 28,000.
That much?
40.
Oh, you were pretty close.
20 bucks an
You're
hour.
pretty close on the first go. 27,500
That's
was
less
my
than the
starting-
teacher.
A quarter,
Salary.
or how did that work?
Yeah.
For the year?
for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, what
and
did you
and
get?
that was 2005.
Frank, what was your
Car
first
allowance?
starting? Well, you don't count. You were in the military for a little. Yeah, what was your military check when you were in there?
$600 a month.
Where do you spend all that? Dude, mine first year teaching in Kingsburg. Gosh, I think it was 38,000. I didn't know what to do with all that money.
I definitely knew I didn't go through four or 5 years of college to just have that as my
Agreed.
starting salary.
Fair enough.
So it
Fair
was
enough.
definitely a shock.
So you start auditing. You sign up. Get me going. I'm gonna do some auditing. Are you doing it while you're done with Cal Poly now?
So yeah, there was a little bit of crossover because
Yep.
I was done with Vaughn's, and truth be told, I was actually on the picket line in 2003 during the Vaughn's grocery store strike. Sam Symbian earthquake happened here.
Yep.
I was down in Slow in the parking lot watching it shake.
Yep.
Well, yeah, while it was all going on
Wow.
up here. And
What was
so
the strike over? Wages?
strike over wages,
Wages,
but it was
okay.
but.
Seafood prices?
And we're gonna they weren't high enough, and we're gonna get to this too when
Crabbers
it comes
were
to,
not
comes to
happy.
unions too. So it definitely maybe have opinions about unions and what their
We have
purpose-
opinions, but you have to be neutral. We know your job.
Yeah. I'm neutral.
No, I am not. Oh, go ahead.
or we were at
Yeah, no, you were telling
earthquakes.
us about the strike. You said you were on.
I was
The,
on
No,
the
strike.
you were on
During the
strike. Were there
earthquake.
scabs? Were there scabs during the Vaughn
there,
strike?
no, there were scabs during the strike, but after the strike was over, went back into the store, and everything. The environment was different. Everything
yeah.
just was just different.
Not the same.
And I was already planning on graduating, 3 or 4 months from there, and I was already interviewing with the company. So
Yeah.
I ended up leaving a couple of months before I graduated from college to
there
work
you
for
go.
them. But it wasn't much. But yeah, it was pretty much.
So Vaughn's was a solid, good job. It was a good
it
entry
really
job.
was, yeah.
right.
From the bagging groceries and learning the different dynamics there, and watching people be lazy and not wanting to collect carts because it's too hot outside. But it's
Yeah.
like, that's our,
You worked your
that's
way
our
up
fucking
and
job.
showing me out work ethic.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what it's
it-
about.
Well, that's going to prove you well, no matter what you do.
And so you grab this auditing firm. You're making bank.
Hold on. Before that, can I go back to the
$15 an hour.
carts? There's like two types of cart people, right? Like the people who are lazy ass. Oh, no, there's like three. There's put your cart, leave your cart where you emptied it. There's put it back in the cart bin, and then there's me, which I try to be. I run that mofo all the way back, so the cart guy has less carts to do because I figured one less for him. What did you run into?
So my theory behind it, I don't mind people leaving their carts wherever they are.
Yep.
I just want them to park far enough away, front to front, so that I can
you
just
can
go
get the
down
cart
one.
Because otherwise you're
enough.
screwed.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
you
there
have to weave in and out.
All right, Frankie, go ahead. We're off the carts.
Okay.
And we now have a big boy job.
We do. We're auditing. So first audit job.
SLOCOG.
Who?
San Luis Obispo Council of Governments.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
SLOCOG. Yeah.
you
Thought
walked
it
in
was
with a
donut
briefcase.
store. Okay.
and a
No,
tie.
I didn't walk in. My manager had the briefcase for me.
Was it handcuffed to his wrist?
This is your computer.
Yeah. So
you're
you were
gonna
the
know this
muscle
from-
with your manager. You guys are
Two
fucked.
guys in there like me and Frank. Oh, God.
Were you in a
Good.
suit?
Yeah.
even more intimidating.
You're ready to go.
Yeah, I was ready to
and
go.
you're fully into this. I know, because when you're young, you're so excited.
No, I was scared as fucking shit.
No, but
man.
you're
but you didn't show it, right?
Doing it. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't show it, but no, it was one of those things where it's like, even though I went to 4 years of college, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing.
We didn't really take a class on this.
You don't know how to have difficult conversations. You don't know like social cues. You don't know. You're just rolling right in. And
know.
your shirt sleeves or your jacket sleeve is too long. Like
donuts, coffee everywhere. People are running around nervous.
All right, so we start auditing. How does that? What is your entrance into this field, and how do you feel about it? College is over.
Nervous, right?
Yeah, nervous, but at the same time, you're walking into these agencies and organizations, and you're already the bad guy.
Yeah, you sure the hell are. Yeah, you fucking yes.
Even though we're normal people, just doing our
you're
jobs.
there for a bad reason.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, this is not going to end well for me.
but even then, 98% of the times, it was just like, no, it's a clean audit. We're just we verified everything, and everything's all on the up and up. And
okay,
98%?
everything should be on the up and up.
Hold on,
right?
who are you auditing? Government.
So
who are you auditing?
Boss Levy on hard time.
Because we're looking at this differently.
Yeah,
I think.
so they
It's on
specialize.
the IRS.
We're the
audit.
auditees.
No, but he is saying this is a routine audit.
This is a financial audit. This is every
Like,
year.
did
No,
somebody
it's like the
hire
school
you
district.
to come in and do it?
So we're auditing school districts. We're auditing.
he's talking about
cities
routine audits,
and
where-
nonprofit organizations.
We got
community
these all the time in the
services
schools.
districts.
Yep.
And so they're required to have financial audits done every year. It's a state mandated law that they have published financial audited statements.
Still terrifying.
And
No,
it's
terrifying. It's only terrifying because we're out of public education. But in public education, it was normal, right? It was like the federal government's coming. They're going to check all the books, and everybody was like this. Cool. When are donuts?
Yeah. Is this a half day of work?
Yeah, because no one's getting fired here. All right. So, did you enjoy the work? You're getting reloaded.
I'm getting reloaded
Did
over
you
here.
enjoy the work?
So the work was I learned a shit ton. I mean, I didn't learn accounting or anything in college. I learned accounting when I was actually working and doing audits.
Yeah. Oh,
And by the way,
boots
no
on
one
the ground.
uses anything they learn in college, and that's not a knock on college. But college can't prepare you for what you're going to find in the workplace. College is necessary, in our opinion. We all went through it. Some parts unnecessary, some necessary. But it teaches you to take on tasks and complete them and deal with people and
Take direction.
take direction and complete those on a timeline. Right?
And perfect example of that too. I remember I felt like I spent a month in college on the audit letter. And it's just like it's 4 paragraphs, and here are your different options.
100%. Chat GPT.
Dude, now you
would
chat
look
GPT
beautiful.
that shit. You spent a month, and I could have spent 30
no,
seconds.
They're
Well,
probably
it's just like-
using yours right now.
Well, honestly, when it was 98% of it's going to be this. This is it. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
4 paragraphs.
Okay. Yeah, no wonder the kids. Frank gets all pissed at his kids, and why would they take a month to write something when ChatGPT can do
It's
it?
a 4-paragraph horror story.
Right.
But
all right.
But what's interesting about that industry, especially audit specifically, because it's not a thankful job, or it's not a sus-feeling job. So
No.
there's a lot.
It's boring me already.
There's a lot of turnover in that industry.
I believe it.
Because it
it's-
doesn't pay well.
Not
Well, not out of the gate. Well, definitely not out of the gate. Well, so that's the thing. So and that
also
would- and-
fulfillment. Like
and-
you're making everyone angry every time you see them, or
when I give
delivering.
them, when I give them
sad news.
$100,000 question cost. Yeah. To do
Where
that.
is this?
But there was
I don't know.
there was a lot of turnover, right? And
Yep.
so that just made my opportunities
better.
that much more.
And you moved that quicker?
I wanted to learn. I wasn't
You dug
okay.
in.
I wasn't okay with just doing these work papers and going, okay, this is my task. And I wanted to learn the big
Yep.
overarching picture of everything. And
Jake, come on,
how do
buddy.
I look, Jake?
Jake's here. Well, we were all. I love.
Do I need
So
to straighten my hat?
You took advantage of the opportunity once again. You took advantage of a situation that allowed you to advance quickly.
Correct.
You
and
didn't.
I was prepared for it.
Here's what you didn't do. You didn't say, "You're right. This job sucks. I don't want to do it anymore." You said, "Man, this looks like an opportunity for me to advance quickly. I'm doing it."
Which is the work ethic he learned at a young age. You want
Yep.
to get out and keep going. It's on you.
And I don't want to discredit my sleeping heart time. So by the time I left, I was making right around 75,000 in that 6 years.
And at that time is good. What years are we talking about?
so that was probably 2011.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, absolutely.
Dude,
I'm just talking auditors in
you're not
general.
doing
Like,
bad.
Yeah.
So you leave there, and how do you get to municipalities?
So there was a distaste, right? I was going up and down the state, running,
Traveling.
15 to 18.
Now we're
people's-
traveling again. Might as well have been an official,
At least that was fun.
right?
Getting yelled at that time, but no, I would. It was the same mistakes. It was the same lack of people wanting to take credit of their own work, like
Or accountability or credit. What do you mean?
Right.
Accountability. There you
Accountability.
go.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
credit,
like,
same thing. Yeah.
Ryan will catch it. Like, I don't have to worry about that. Ryan will catch it. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not here to do your work. I'm here to make sure that you're doing your work.
Yeah.
And so I got to a point in time where it's like, again, and it goes back to, we haven't talked about the driving in 16 yet, where it's like, I'm going to take control of this myself.
Okay.
I want my own books. I don't want to
Yeah.
do 18 other people's books. I want my own books.
Yeah.
And so I had a client, Arroyo Grande, and she was like, hey, accounting supervisor position's opening up. Think you would be great for it. And so that was my foot in the door, and that's how I
Love it.
transitioned.
But you did
Good for
it.
you.
But you did
it's
it.
Arroyo
Here's what's important for people to hear, because this is what's important about this podcast. The luck piece that we talked about, I just posted this, like, if you think that the world is out there and it's against you and it's not turning your direction, you're going to miss out, because someone says, hey, this job's open, I think you'd be great for it. You could have easily said, I'm not ready. I don't have the skills. That's not my job. There's no way they'll give it to me. But instead you were like, let's do it. Right?
Yep.
I can
Take
do
the
it.
challenge.
No, well,
I can do it.
and even though I felt that, years later, after talking to the director that actually hired me, it wasn't a slam dunk case. She took a risk on me.
Oh, you
And
went in and kicked ass. You showed him something, right?
years later, but like during the interview process, it was still like he doesn't have any sort of, and and I was younger at the time.
Yeah, but there's a reason. Why did they take a chance on you? So you go in an interview. Why did they take a
Tell
chance
me
on
you had
you?
a tie on.
Of course,
Was it the tie?
Yeah,
I thought it was a seafood manager getting back at him.
actually for a lot of years I had a lucky tie.
The lucky
enough.
tie.
And it didn't pan out a couple of times. It's been
Lost
retired
its lore.
since then.
You
but-
didn't tie
So
right.
what was it you think, and I don't know if you talked to him, what was it that made him take a chance on you?
I was luckily enough where I was the auditor, and I had those interactions, those little interactions.
Relationships.
And even though it was not a lot of drips, it was still drips nonetheless. Like
It was enough drips. So
was a-
they knew people who had known you who said this guy does a great job.
yeah, and then year in year out for the last 4 or
He's
5
legit.
years, he's been solid and consistent. And that's another thing I've learned too. You
Consistency.
got to be consistent.
Consistency. You got to show up every day. You got to do the work, whether you like it or not. Right?
And that's what builds trust. And trust is
Yep.
trust is huge. And I as we get through this career, trust is definitely
Dude.
started overtaking the.
This guy needs to work here. How much do you cost now? We'll hire you right now at your
For
original
what?
pay.
I don't
You
even know.
started
It's
at-
like
We'll hire you at your original pay as an auditor. Love it. All right. So
That's pretty funny.
you start working and you're working in AG and you continue. I'm not fast forwarding, but I am, because you're doing a great job.
Yeah,
So
how are we
you
doing on
get
time? Are we
into
good?
Oh, we're
you
doing
get
great.
into government, and do you enjoy this public service?
It is definitely different, right? I went up the whole finance route.
Yep.
Yeah, because you went all the way up auditing and accounting. Accounting was for
Accounting,
private,
yeah.
right?
Still private entity, right?
Yeah.
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 And
Yep.
you haven't gone public yet.
Now AG hires you.
AG hires me
And
to
you're
take
in
care
the-
of the books.
You're in the public sector now.
I'm in.
Good luck, buddy. Here we go. I can't wait.
Did you get Skechers and take a break take coffee every day and walk around the block?
Do they train you
Donuts.
Well,
to have
you know what's
Friday
actually
donuts? Like, what happened?
that's what.
How's the indoctrination?
So
'Cause
truth
we
be
were
told,
there.
during the audit years, we would show in late, like 9:30, but then we'd also be there till 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night.
Right, yeah. fair.
And so that was
Okay,
like
I agree with that,
was
too.
like my mentality. And so yeah, for the first couple of, and it's bad. Like I don't do this now, but
Yeah.
for the first couple, I was showing up at 8:30 like, after everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, that's European hours. Like,
But
they
it's
think
like,
Americans
but
are
I'm putting
crazy.
on, but
We
I'm
work
putting all
too
the hours
hard.
on the back end. But it was definitely one of the first learning curves. It's like that doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Yeah.
It does
doesn't
not.
matter.
It does not matter.
In fact,
Get it done.
actually, it does matter. People don't like you if you show up early and work too hard. I'm just saying.
I guess in that environment, I was getting flack for
No, hey, what are you doing, bud? Like, hey, don't be showing us all up right now.
Yeah, you're the manager.
Like,
Showing up
dude.
30 minutes late. Hey, thanks. Yeah, what do we hire?
Coffee's
you go.
cold now.
So you get into the public sector, and what's your first job? What are you doing for them?
So I'm doing accounting.
NAG.
So I'm doing account supervisor. So I'm overseeing accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll. I mean, those are kind of the main focuses of AG, right? 17,000 population. I don't even know
How many people live there?
17,000 people live there.
at the
How many
time.
people live or work there? I feel like it's under 100.
Yeah.
But it was definitely an organization. And again, every organization, every step I've gone through, I feel like I've been blessed.
Yeah.
Like going to a small organization where I was able to know everybody on payroll
Yep.
was huge for me. And it made, and I didn't know at the time that it made huge emotional deposits on all those relationships that I was able to have.
Yeah.
And as you start scaling up, you lose more and more in that, but you
sure do.
still appreciate what it was at one point in time.
It's
Yeah.
no different than a teacher in the classroom. You love those kids. You want to teach them as you start going to principal,
Oh.
to district.
Vice
You
principal,
miss
district
that
office, you
passion.
never see the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
lose
get
that close connection.
Because you're feeding their families too.
People ask all the time, do I miss education? And the answer is no. I don't miss the big piece of it, but I absolutely miss being in a classroom with young people and the youth of America, the most truthful human beings in the world who have this vibrancy, this energy.
Well, I'm sure you're learning
know.
from them just as much as they're
So I
learning
do
from you.
miss that. Yeah.
But
without
he
a
would
doubt.
also be horrible in a classroom now because he's the old guy.
No, dude, I'm still hip, dude. I'm fucking cool. I don't know if you know, but
according to my
dude,
daughter, I'm pretty old. too now,
disrespect.
too.
That's why we put him
No,
on
you
the
look
other
good.
side.
You look good.
All right, so we got a job. We're
All right,
in
so,
we're
yeah,
in
so-
AG.
so I'm
So
working
he's
in-
moving up.
I'm
Go ahead.
moving up.
Go
I'm
ahead.
working up.
Moving up. Working your
and
ass
even
off.
within the organization, they're like, still, you're doing more than what we expect you to do. So
Yeah.
we're going to make you not a supervisor, but a manager.
So I'm just gonna say it because inherently government people are lazy. Like they just are.
That's your
I hate
opinion.
to say that.
I don't think we can throw that on this guy.
His
Man,
face.
you're putting me on.
His face.
Yeah,
work
geez,
life
I'm
I
just
feel
telling
like
you.
rich.
If
Yeah.
you work
Jesus
your
Christ.
ass off, you
Yeah.
do rise to the top. I'll just say that. If you work your ass off and you have a good attitude, you work. But that is not. You guys can laugh all you want.
But honestly,
Have you been to the DMV lately?
Well, no. So on a small organization,
online.
wait. Okay, I'm gonna
right.
punch. I'm
You
gonna punch.
don't have to convince
I'm gonna
me.
punch holes in your story here.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I
Because
like
especially in AG, right, when you're such a small organization, you only
Yep.
have so many people.
Go.
You're fucking doing everything.
it. Okay.
And that was, again, a blessing in disguise that when I got in that job, I was doing everything. It might not be as in depth of a big organization, but I was doing bank recs. I mean, it was
on.
every sort of all budgets for every department. And
I'm gonna poke holes in your story. Time out. You didn't once say.
do you want to talk?
Hold on. You
This
didn't
is
once
on you.
say. You didn't once say that's not my job description.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's
No,
weird.
that was not.
That's
Oh,
weird.
so you had other duties as a
Others-
son?
Yeah,
duties
that's
as a
weird.
sign.
So you just took on what people asked you to do and you kicked ass at it? Yeah, that's weird.
And then I
That's
took
totally
and then I
common.
took
Or you
duties
saw
that
how to
people
make
didn't
it
ask me
better.
to do.
Yeah, that's totally common.
Actually,
All right.
But along, yeah, seriously. But
Go ahead.
even at Vaughn's, though,
I hear
I
you.
always did stuff that was not asked of me.
Yeah.
It was always a bigger picture, and again, it's a mentality too. It was always
Yeah.
like, what do people want? Like, I'm not just doing things just to do things.
Right.
And I've had that out of the gate. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What's the reasoning for it?
Yeah.
And how can I make it better? And we're gonna get the processes here later. But
We can see why you're kicking ass. I joke, and it's joking, not joking, right? Joking is obviously some part
what's
way
a
the
stereotype
truth.
for a reason? So
But the comfortability obviously exists in that environment. We've come from both. That's why we have both the private sector view and the public sector. And by the way, neither one, I guess, is better. They're both trying to accomplish different goals. When we are in the public sector, you're definitely playing the game, working through the system, trying to make a positive impact. But you have to deal with the red tape. It's just there. You have to know how to navigate it. In the private sector, you are trying to get things done as fast and efficiently as you can absolutely do them. And you are the opposite of the other side, which is we want to try to break every barrier, and somewhere in between, both of us have to work together because we need the city of Paso Robles. So I want to say that, and they need us, all of us. They need everyone to have great businesses, pay their taxes, follow the rules and regulations, communicate with them, and be good stewards of the community while they're trying to run and organize our funds and keep the city moving forward in a vision, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that, and we'll leave it alone.
And not any one example is the same.
Everything is different.
Everything is different.
Everything is
and
different.
so you're trying to find common core principles in every decision. And it's when it comes to city municipalities, it's just not going to happen.
So what did you learn from AG?
What did I learn from AG?
Every step we learned something. What did you learn?
So, and I'm going to give another shout out, and I'm going to look straight over there. So
Woo!
Debbie Malakote, right?
Debbie.
So she was another director that was another boss of mine in AG, and again saw that thrive, saw that interest. I'm assuming. And I got sent into leadership training and that's another shout out. The Center for Organizational Effectiveness went through a 6-month training course or leadership course through that, and it was sponsored through the city, and it really kind of
Wait, hold on. How long?
that set off.
6 months?
It wasn't 6 months every day. It was
Okay.
it was 2 days a week, 2 days a month for 6 months. So
Worth it?
100%.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I think Rich is starting to do that now. It's those types of organizations, those types of leadership programs that is so much different than any college or any high school can offer you. And especially if you're actually working and you're on the lines and you're hitting these real life examples of how to be a good leader.
Yeah.
And
it puts you in a group of good leaders, and you have somebody to kind of guide you through it, and you're all sitting there going, shit, you're going through too. How can we get better together?
We're not alone.
Yeah.
In any of this.
And
that's
just
cool.
the
Good on you, AG.
just the conversation about what leadership is, most people don't even carve time out for that. And there is no cookie cutter, because if there was, we'd all be learning and paying for that one, way to do it.
Yeah. Well, to be perfectly honest, when she sent me through that leadership course, it's like, I'm not a leader. Like, I don't know why you're sending me. I don't know why you're sending me through this.
Yeah.
And
she
then-
saw
you
you
are.
as a
And
leader.
then, truth be told, and then I look back in history,
She believes in
oh,
you.
I was leading all along. I just didn't know about it.
Yep.
Now I know the concepts and the tools and have that, and now
And
I
that's
definitely
not
lean
easy.
into it.
Good.
It's not easy, and that's another thing I've learned too. And it's almost like writing your signature left-handed. And this is probably one of the leadership things I'm not left-handed. If it's hard, you're not going to be successful at it. You find those attributes that you're really, really good at, and you encourage those, and then people just
Take off. So she believes in you. You take the leadership training, and then you have that career thing where you're moving up, and you could probably stay in AG forever. Why do you transition from AG?
So
Kingsburg, that's my transition. Kingsburg, California. I could have stayed there forever. I love the people in Kingsburg. Greatest job ever. However, I decided I wanted something bigger, and for some, dude, let me tell you. Hold on, put this on. Is this on right now? Everything is on.
It's not on.
I'm gonna tell Jake right now. I just hit this.
Wait,
Jake,
actually, I have a favor.
cut this out, Jake. Hold on before you say that, Jake. We're putting you're in the band, like, right? So like, this is what you just said that, and it hit me. Are you with the band? Are you in the band? Right? Jake's like this. I'm just kind of with the band, right? I travel around. No, dude. No. Pick up the bass.
Roadies don't get chicks.
Hey,
be the drummer.
pick
and
up
fucking
the
get some
bass,
chicks.
pick up
Be
the
a part of
drum.
the
Don't see a
band.
band.
Twiddle the thing. You're in the band. You're not with the band.
10 million's my off.
Dude, hey, your phone is on.
22.
Put this on your thing, Jake. You're in the band. You're not with the band. You're in the band. Dude, that's going viral, Jake. You're in the band. Stop. You're not the guy like, I don't know, I just walk these things down here. You're
And
actually
you're
in
not.
the band.
I hear what you tell people out here and how you handle
You're in the
people.
band.
You love it.
just
You
wanna
love
admit
it.
You just wanna
You
admit it.
secretly love it.
You have a job at AG. This is important. And you decide, though, at some point,
So
you're ready for something else.
So interestingly enough, the leadership host of this training I went to was Santa Maria, and they were doing a whole revitalization of their executive team and management team. And
Right.
here's this is the leadership. This is what we want to strive for and become.
Yep.
And I was like, and they're a bigger agency, and it's like, and that's what we're on the same page. I'm drinking this Kool-Aid.
Yep.
Let's do this. And then I ended up going down to, I was living up here in,
You were
in
recruited.
Templeton. And yeah, I went down to Santa Maria.
Yep.
Head on.
Head on, big organization. We're great leaders. We're gonna do everything we learned. And
What did AG think about that?
I think AG realized that they were too small for my
That's good. They wanted to see you grow.
They wanted to see me grow, and they knew, and they were, and
Good on you, AG.
But again, it goes back to principles that I pick up along those ways. Like even now, the staff that I have now, if they want to grow and become the best leaders that they possibly can,
Yes.
I'm 150% encouraging that.
Bring them together.
They don't need to be here to do
Leave
that.
them better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And by the way, you still have to do the work. And what's funny is people get threatened by that. They shouldn't be. If you think you can do it, like Frank and I say, we have some people who are maybe moving and they want to open their own breweries and everything. You still got to get up. You got to get up in the morning, mop the toilets or mop the floors, clean the toilets, make the beer, do all the things. Like none of that goes away, right? And if you want to take that on and pay the bills and make sure the insurance is good, go for it. I will help mentor you because that's the cycle, right?
Yeah. Constant work.
So
Reality.
Santa Maria, here we come.
So here's Santa Maria, here we come, and I get in there and
It was a shit show.
silos galore.
Oh,
No wonder they had leadership training. We were trying to break down all this shit.
And you were the new guy, all excited.
All excited, and I was driving an hour commute.
You were seafood manager all over again.
I made it 14 months, 15 months.
Couldn't take it.
Not that I'm saying I couldn't take it. It was just the opportunity up in Paso Robles presented itself. And it felt like a Goldilocks.
What did you learn from Santa Maria? Don't have silos.
We are one team, and that's one thing I've learned coming up is I have a perspective of seeing the bigger picture. And a lot of people don't see that, especially in larger in organizations where they're just in community development or in community services, and that's the entire reality that they see. And I appreciate that and I understand that, but from my perspective, I see everything. When it comes to budget and finance and people, that impacts everything. And so, it's all to me, all of it's important.
Well, and it's your work ethic and years of experience where you've learned to, instead of shotgun, now you're snipering or laser-like approach, and you're able to see it all because you have the experience.
Yeah, and I wanted to. And I think a lot of people don't care or
they want to write it out for that retirement.
They do, and that's true. Like that's not a knock on anybody. Like there are people in there that like comfort.
Jake, you're the best.
Thank you, Jake.
And by the way, you need those people. You need the people who value comfort. By the way, not everyone can be charging out into a field like, I want to be the leader. Like you can be a leader by doing your job well every single day, day in and day out, and being someone that people can count on.
Yeah. But truth be told, even if when I came first to Paso, it wasn't to be a leader. It was still, I was in finance. Like I was a finance manager. I came over as the finance guy. And so that was,
but you still want more. You still want more. You don't know it. You don't know it yet, but you're like, I'm just climbing this ladder. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to keep climbing this ladder.
Yeah.
So how long ago did you hit Paso?
So 8 years ago. So I had my 8-year anniversary last month.
Nice.
Shoot, congrats.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the longest tenured agency I've worked for, and honestly proud of it. Like,
so tell us.
That's big.
Oh, hold on. Proud of it. That's good. A lot of pride. There's a lot of pride in this area. And the city should be proud of the work that they're doing and who we are.
What's the typical turnover?
Like
in a government agency like
statistically?
that?
I don't know.
Would you know?
I don't know that stuff. I just know like in my own department, we've had 2 people leave, and it's like it's weird because we haven't had someone leave in like 2 or 3 years. And
did they leave for other jobs or
leadership.
retirement?
It's complicated. Obviously, it's but it's not for the team.
To go.
Like one had family and wife
fine.
issues and needed to go out of state, and the other, who was the other one?
But you were better. You were better. You're better off now.
The other one's a member here.
Oh, there you go. We'll take. Oh yeah. Okay.
Not better off, but everyone comes and goes. I get it, but as a leader, you've kept a lot of people there.
Correct, and again, if people have aspirations, right?
Yes.
I if there's anything else that I try to cultivate is if you want to go somewhere, I will do everything I can in my power to get you to where you want to be. It's just a lot of people don't know, right? It's just the unknown. I don't know what I want, and so then when I come to that part of it, it's like, okay, well, what's your daily habits? Like, be ready for that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because when it knocks, open that door.
Woo.
You
Well, you got to be ready.
You don't know when that knocks.
Yeah, no, you won't know. That's exactly it. You got to be ready. So tell us, now we're at Paso Robles. Everybody's listening is going to love this. Tell us how the city operates, the people involved. Just give us a rough outline if I don't know anything about the structure of it.
No, it's like a step backwards.
Okay.
I come over, I'm still the finance guy.
All right.
I love it.
Still doing financial reports, still doing accounting, still doing all that stuff.
How'd it look?
It looked good.
Good.
Yeah, actually.
Look, we're choosing words wisely now.
We have to.
No, but it's true because I had, when I first started in AG and the learning curve I had, or what I needed to do to quote unquote clean the books up, or just get it to how processes, how I want processes to be. This was by far the least amount of processes I needed to change in order to get it kind of up to
That's
par.
a good thing. So you're still doing that.
Still doing that, and my director somehow had a crystal ball and decided to retire November, December of 2019. Like, I'm done. And she's been with the city for, X number of years. And it's just that natural time for them to retire.
And you keep saying that, but I have to stop you because now this has been a pattern of, if you didn't do all the things and earn the trust before and do good work, there wouldn't be any way possible that they would want you in this new position. But instead,
and the truth be told, they didn't want me in the position.
Okay,
right.
Let's hear it.
It was no. So the department had two divisions at that time. So it was me and the HR manager at the time going, okay, yeah, we'll carry this forward. Like,
okay,
it's you and me together. Like,
right.
and it is interesting. Like, during times of adversity, leaders do show up.
Oh, absolutely.
I've learned that it's amazing, and I don't look for adversity. I don't like adversity, but I like it for that aspect because I want to know who's going to show up to work.
Who's in the trench with me?
Yep.
And my managers today and me, right? We all were in the trenches together, and that just builds trust. And so, I ended up being the leader out of that whole pack, but honestly, we're a team. We are through and through. The four of us, we are pretty. I feel like we're pretty solid.
Nice. So
I couldn't be more grateful for that.
How do you get the job? You guys talk together, and they say you should apply, or you all apply, or how does that work?
Well, and I guess that's the luck part of it too. Right?
There we go. I love it. I love it.
COVID happened, and who's hiring during COVID? Nobody.
We were.
We had to rehire everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Everyone left.
So COVID happens.
So honestly, truth be told, right? Options were limited.
There's still people working there.
And so even though it was like, okay, well, yeah, you're like the last resort. Like, no, it was.
Who told you that was the last resort?
Well, no, it was just.
Is that in your head?
It's in my, it's probably more in my head, but no, I was prepared for it, and the opportunity.
There it is.
It was there. And so,
all right.
And now it's gone to a position now where I'm not doing the day-to-day finances. I'm not doing the accounting and the receivables, or I'm more leading people, and that's been a very hard transition to that's more my main focus is leading people and making sure they have the resources they need to do in order to be successful.
Yeah. And remember, that's the levels of leadership. I'm sure everybody's read the 5 levels of leadership, but the basic one is you get a positional power, right? And now you're in charge. The second piece is you're relational, and you got relationships and people like you, and you're working hard. The third piece is now I'm able to perform at a high level, and my performance will dictate that. And then obviously as you move up, now you're working with people, and that's where you get paid. I tell everyone who works here, the ability to take a task and complete it is great. And that is step one. But the ability to teach those tasks to someone else, oversee it, invigorate them, give them a sense of purpose, and let them learn it, and then ultimately teach it to someone else, that's what you're seeking, right? And so for you...
And then taking it a step further to realize that when they make mistakes, that's on me. I'm going to take ownership of that.
Yeah,
when they're successful.
Yeah.
It's on them.
Success is on them.
You eat it.
It's on them.
Yep.
And that's another learning curve too. And I embrace that. I
solid leader.
So if you're listening, we're finally moving to the Pints.
We're transitioning.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, are you good over
Are
there? Are you good over
we're done
there?
with all this.
No, we're doing great. Actually, I love it. So let's keep going. All right, we're at the city. Please give us a
need
brief
7
breakdown.
more.
Give us a breakdown of the structure of the city of Paso Robles. We got you here.
Yeah. So it's not just our city, right? It's any municipality. We're running 8 different businesses. We're in the police business. We're in the firefighter business. We're in the street maintenance business. We're in the water business. We're in the wastewater. We have a shit ton of businesses that we're all part of. And it's interesting on the accounting side, right? We have to keep books on every single one of those individual bases, even though we're one entity. And
Okay, fun.
RFP.
I'm learning. I like it.
I would like to put an RFP in as guys who are here and do a podcast for the city.
I'm pretty sure we ran out your patina
there
on the
you
regular.
go. All right. No, actually, you didn't have to pay for it. We donated it. There you go. Coffee with the city manager. You know, we're not very smart over here. We're not good businessmen. We're good people, man.
Yeah,
we don't
we
charge
like
for
people.
anything. All right. So,
But
you're
then
absolutely
we tell
right.
you all the code and violations
You got to
you're part
cover
of.
all of those. Whoa. Easy, buddy. Easy.
whoa.
There's give it
Sorry,
and get
did I-
around.
Info at calcosbeer.com. Any questions?
All right.
step in
So,
there.
here's what we do. So, give us the basic structure of any city.
Okay.
Top to bottom, bottom to top.
So,
Let's go.
So you had so again, what's interesting about city government, right? You have electeds.
Yep.
That's probably
Elected
your
officials.
Who are those people?
So actually, honestly, your citizens are your first. And when you do
Citizens, the
your
people.
hierarchy,
Because you
of
guys
your-
are working for the
We
citizens.
are working for the citizens.
Absolutely.
There you go.
And
They elect.
well, actually, you want to take a step backwards. And what's interesting is I remember way back when in AG years, I threw in the community of Arroyo Grande as the people that are the top of the list, and the mayor was like, "It's not the community, it's the mayor, or it's the citizens.
Ooh.
It's the citizens
All
of AG
right.
that elects." And I'm like, okay, well, I'm still going to go against that grain. I still think it's the community is what's.
I'm not a
the number-
smart man. Define the difference. I don't understand why you wouldn't interchange that community versus citizens.
There's members in the community that don't vote,
I see where you're going with it.
but
okay,
I still
I'm a
think
smarter man.
I still think they're valuable members of our community.
Yeah.
You do or
Probably
don't
the
vote.
most. Some of them are more valuable
Yeah.
because they're not up there saying 221 East Street.
Exactly.
I think I can give you real address.
So it's the community of Paso Robles.
Yep.
They're the number
Community.
ones. And yeah, they elect 5 council members,
Yep.
and some of them are by district, some of them is at large, and then
Yep.
somehow they elect me in this whole mix of things
So
too.
there's council members.
How many ran against you?
0.
We don't want to talk about that.
It's unopposed. Keep going.
Unopposed. So thank you. So yeah, I'm
So if you
100% of the
if
of the
you
voting
didn't
population.
get it, that would have been bad.
That would have been bad.
You don't want to lose to
If
yourself.
Mickey Mouse got it, yeah, that would.
All right. So
that
you
would have been
have.
bad.
Is the mayor
Sorry, Ryan.
above the elected people or below? I'm trying to find the structure.
the
of
only
all this.
difference between the mayor and the rest of the city council members is the mayor is elected by the entire city as a large versus a
Or
district.
city councils by the district.
Yeah. by-
So you're
by-
putting the mayor in that tier of city council members, mayor, right
yeah,
there.
but at the end of the day, right, he's still 1/5 of the overall vote that
Yep.
whatever action that they make.
So
Granted,
we
it is the last one, so it could be a tiebreaker. Like
Yep.
when we actually get into the details and the weeds of everything.
Yep. So we have these city council members, and then it goes to the city manager.
So city council actually only hires 2 people.
2 people. Who are they?
They're the city manager and the city attorney.
Okay.
They're the only 2 people that they actually have.
A new manager, not attorney. Okay. that's
City
good to
manager and
know.
city attorney. Those are the
I
only
love
2.
this. I'm learning.
Okay.
now. Okay.
And so yes, they're on contracts. It's a different
Yep.
perspective for them. And then the city manager hires 8 directors, or I think that's 8 directors.
And is Frida in those directors?
She is one of those directors.
Frida
so for
is
every
my favorite
so
right now.
for
I'm
every
putting that on
department we have a
record.
director. So we have a police chief. Even
Yep.
though he's police chief, he's a director.
Yep.
Fire chief. Frida, public works director.
Yep.
Angelica is our community services director. Amazing. She
I work with Angelica.
oversees
Yep,
Parks
does
and
a great
Recs and
job.
library.
Yep.
She's doing a great job with that department. You have myself. Christopher Aleckle is overseeing utilities. So that's water, wastewater, solid waste, and the like. And the last one is community development.
Is that
which
Paul
is
Sloan?
Oh, 8.
Is that Paul Sloan?
Uh,
Who's community development?
So interestingly enough, so we do have a city manager's office too, like where we do administration, and that's where economic development.
That's
actually-
Warren Phrase.
No,
Is Warren in there
no,
too?
Warren's the community development director. So
Oh, okay. All right.
it's definitely a crossover.
There's a lot of intertwining.
Well, obviously, with when you have 8 different
Kinda makes
organizations that
sense.
are still
chain of command.
but
And you guys oversee as you work. You're a
We should
cabinet.
do a brewery director.
and
I want you to do it.
And what's very unique about admin services department in the overall organization is like we're kind of the we're not necessarily over the other departments, but we're partners with them. But we're our own department.
You are.
So
And you're
any recruitment has to come through us. So even if it's a
HR.
police, fire, it doesn't matter who we're recruiting for. It's still going to come through us, and we still have our processes and our standards.
You have both things. You have to make sure you have funding for it, and you have to make sure there's a position for it.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's I think that's why those two divisions
That would
kind
make
of
sense.
You are my
Collide.
favorite person when I worked, and that's why I like Frank. I talked him into coming here. I just walk over like, "Hey, I need this. Is there money for it? And is there a position?
yeah.
And can we change a position?"
But he would go like, "Hey, I say 50,000."
Position control. We can do this.
Yeah. But he would come like, "Hey, I say 50,000 on irrigation, so I could pay for this person."
Yep.
That's what
yeah,
he would do.
and you would say back to me for how many years, because I don't see it in the next 5-year budget. Yep. And so, all right. So you're each over how many people? How many people work for the city of Paso Robles right now?
Oh, I think there's close to 300 now.
Okay.
FTE right around there.
Yep, that's a good amount of people.
We're 10% of that here.
We are. Yeah, that's
Scary.
horrible. That's horrible. And we came from the school district, which I think is the largest employer in the area.
It
or
is on.
close.
Yeah, I do the financial reports every year, so and
Gotta
the
be
school
a
district is
lot.
on the top of the list,
Yep.
and so is
Nice.
Firestone.
So
to be
in
frank.
our budget,
Firestone,
so
never heard of them.
public versus private. Another thing I want you to explain just on face level, because now we're in the private area, so now we pay taxes. How do those taxes work from all these businesses, whether they're downtown or they're just in Paso? And obviously we pay the Martha would know the number, 8 something percent tax. How does that work for your budget? Just describe the budget.
Actually,
all right. So,
but no, I do. So
sales
every
tax-
every
Yep,
every
go
year
ahead.
I do financials, and we break it down by every function. So we do it by public safety, general government, culture, recreation, economic development, right? And we have what it costs that program.
Yeah.
We have those direct revenues that are
Yep.
associated with each one of those programs, and obviously we're not making money because that's not what government does.
Yep.
And then we have a deficit over here on the column, and then we have all the taxes below it that really kind of help
Offset.
offset all of that stuff.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so,
So when we cry, you rejoice.
that's a loaded question.
Okay, it is. No, we work together. All right, so go ahead.
Out of the
Continue.
gate, I
apologize.
rejoice, but that if it's long term, like sustained, then I start.
Yeah,
crying.
no, you want us to be here. I guess that comes back to it. We're joking, but it's one thing to make the list, but
We
you
do well,
want
city
us,
does well.
You want us to do well to remain on the list. Not even on the list. You want your businesses to continue to be able to sustain their success over time.
Because it's real. For me, it's really important for us as a community to be able to provide police services, fire services.
Yeah.
And you're
100%.
counting on
But-
this revenue, not just for us, but this whole group of people. You're counting on that revenue to come through.
Right.
Yep.
And I want people to understand too that when you have hardships,
You have hardships.
and economic downturns happen, then I'm trying to do my best to try to soften that blow for the community piece of
Yeah.
it, so that we can kind of iron out those things. We can't fire police officers just because the economy is going down. That's I don't
Where
think
we
it's okay.
can
It's not okay with council. It's not
immediately,
okay with me, right?
yeah, we make adjustments immediately.
Right.
Like, hey, we can't afford 20 of you right now. You're at will employees. We love you, but we can't have you. You
But
can't do that.
opposite side, we blow up and make multi-million dollars. We can give all these guys raises. The city ain't turning around to
can't
the
do
police
that.
department and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
make money."
Jake's ready for his raise.
Well, no, I was just
He
trying
wants a
to.
discount on taxes.
There was glass empty and full, but
All right. So those
so
taxes
can I ask
come
one
in.
quick question? So you have all these departments. How is that funding split between them? So you have, let's say, $1,000 from us. Is it percentages to fire, police, or how does that work?
The best way to describe it is it's more of a big funnel, right? All the revenues go into just a giant funnel, and then we just have the departments and 8 different individuals
And
that
their
we just-
needs? Okay.
Is that the
and a-
general fund that
and
it hits?
Yes, yeah. When I say this, it's mostly the general fund.
You're in charge
Okay.
of the general fund?
I'm in charge of all the funds.
Well, that's the magic. But the general fund is different. It's not earmarked. You get to make decisions on that, or somebody gets to make decisions on that, right?
Right, and it's the 8 department heads. It's the city manager.
You guys
and the
meet.
council.
How often do you meet?
We meet weekly.
Okay. Every
It's the Tuesdays non-council weeks. It's the Wednesday after city council weeks, and so on the Wednesdays we're able to debrief on anything that happens on the city council the night before. And a lot of it's agenda review and it's forward thinking, but it's still checking on our city council goals and priorities, what it is that we're doing, make sure that there's not duplicative efforts or just communication just overall of what we need to know between departments. And the thing that's quasi frustrating is like, even though we have those discussions, we have those meetings, I know that communication isn't good down to the foot soldiers, right? And down to
that's the Pints piece, which is like the craft, right? Your craft is people and messaging, not only running the city, obviously, and you're doing that, but on the other side is getting out the correct message, meeting, being current with everything, and then getting that out. And that's hard to do because there's hundreds of people to get it down to.
One thing I've definitely learned is if there's not if there's a lack of communication, they'll fill it with negativity.
They'll make it up.
They'll make it up and they'll fill it with negativity.
The 8 people that come to your board meetings or your city council meetings and bring negativity, they're never going to stop. Their will is good, and it's hard because you got to move around that. You got to keep moving forward, even though they have their right to come and voice their opinion. You've got to keep moving and keep your team positive and keep rolling to try to keep the city running.
And we kind of switch over challenges, but that's definitely one of the biggest challenges, especially for local government, is that negativity. It's constantly just there, and I don't want to say necessarily put a scab. What happened, Jake?
But sometimes,
but I don't want to put a scale on it because it still matters, right? People's concerns still
100%
are valid.
Voice needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Well,
but they also don't have the whole picture sometimes.
Correct.
No.
Yeah.
And the bigger thing is, while that's taking place, you're still trying to provide like a vision for the future and be working on this bigger picture. But you definitely have to continue to use your resources and your time to address those issues that are constantly coming up. And so it's like culling through what is reasonable and what do you need to respond to, and then what is just somebody's negative opinion about what the city's doing.
Right. Priority is so subjective in and of itself.
Right.
Absolutely.
And that's, I'm making up numbers, right? 90% of what it is that we do. And because it is elected, right, there is a community component to it where opinions and visions change over time. But I think that it is important that we try to stay focused on common goals and commonalities so that all 8 departments are working together and are striving together. And I was doing some, because I do research, and I guess this is one of the core things I do no matter what. Even for this preparation, I was looking at prior podcasts and trying to pick up different aspects. And,
I'm sorry.
What did you find?
I found out that Frank cusses a lot.
Okay, check.
Sorry, Mom.
Keep going.
But the one thing that resonated with me was when Zach was on the line and you guys had just started the kitchen, and you made a comment like, "Hey, we're busting this food out too quickly. People are a half a beer in,
Oh, yeah.
and they're not." Right? And it's taken a step backwards, right? I look at the same thing. It was like, okay, that's the police department and that's the community development department, and they're not.
Yeah, the two
Let's take a
departments
step
need
backwards.
to talk to each
let's
other.
talk to each other, and let's just figure out if there's a common goal. And it ends up being there's a relief on one end of it, like, oh, I don't have to bust my ass off.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
yes.
like no, like
We can all benefit together.
Yep.
Don't
And-
crush someone else.
And
So,
so-
with
Go ahead.
just real quick kind of side note. So your general funds, that's everything. Is there like a separate general just fund without the D that we could focus on railroad district here and get this done?
Dude, speaking of personal priorities,
that's a subsection of the general fund. Yes, that and then honestly that is a challenge. I even have the challenges today of like even building parks. The way the systems worked and the engine, we talk about the engine or the system.
Yeah.
It is so much easier to build new parks than it is to maintain and
Old
retrofit
parks.
our new
Oh, yeah, I
current
believe it.
parks. Like it's like night and day. I
Yeah.
could build a new park with like not any headache, but much easier than it is started to renovate Sherwood Park.
Yep.
And that's a priority. And that's a priority. It should be a priority.
And why is that? Why is that true? Because when you start from scratch, you can develop the entire
I guess it
vision for
it more opens up
regulations
our financing opportunities. We can get state grants and then
there you go.
The developer contributions are all about expansions.
Yeah.
Not about maintaining and current.
Well, on a playground set, people don't understand. It's not a $300 playground set at Lowe's. Like, we did it at our schools.
No.
A playground set, just the freaking set, is like $180,000.
Frank,
It's
that's because the
ridiculous.
regulation in government is so ridiculous.
Well, it's got to be safety and all that, and
because a private business doesn't have to deal with all that.
But when it comes to regulation, I mean that's not a city thing. That's a
Right.
that's a law thing. That's a state.
Oh
thing.
no, we're talking about that. You want to talk about Malibu and all the houses
we're not
that are
going
being
down that road.
rebuilt?
No,
Let's
no,
go.
no.
Okay, go ahead.
Continue.
No permits approved. Let's go.
No.
All right.
I got a 2-hour lecture on this morning.
Exceptions to the
Hey,
rule.
guess what? I'm not moving to Malibu.
But yeah, it is the red tape, and you have to deal with it. By the way, we are lucky enough. We're fortunate. By the way, neither one is better. I want to keep saying that is like, if tomorrow people don't come to Cal Coast Beer and they don't come here for a certain amount of months, there is no more Cal Coast Beer. The government has some funding that will continue, and while you have to cut back, it will continue to run because we have to have local government. So neither one are better. By the way, they have to work together. The best cities have the best businesses. The best businesses are within the best cities, right? Mm-hmm.
And the best businesses have the best leaders.
They do. And the best cities have the best leaders, right?
Yep.
I feel like we're in the top 100 right here. All right, Cluter on that.
100. All right, a couple of things. Major topics that people complain about.
Roads.
The roads. Yeah.
It's my biggest complaint too.
What should somebody know about the roads? We're not here. So this podcast, we talked about this with Ryan. It's easy to complain in the world, but it's more difficult to actually sit down and have a great conversation with people and see how hard they're working and try to, meet in the middle on this. So everybody's complaining about the roads. What's the reality of the roads?
They're fucking expensive.
They're expensive.
Fair enough.
And if you fall behind for a long time, it's like maintenance on your house.
It's
right?
maintenance on your truck, and then we've tried an analogy. What's analogize? Like
no, it's an analogy.
Analogy.
Yeah.
Find like 4 pints in. So
there you go.
Right now.
Hey. That's what we do. We're running full speed.
But we tried.
He's off work. By the way,
he's off work.
Am I off work?
All right.
I'm still on. I'm always on.
No, you are.
There's 30 years of work still to be caught up on, right? So it's not going to happen tomorrow. But all I can say is that there is a good plan, and we are tackling it. Like,
you're at base camp. It's going to take a while to summit.
It's going to take us a while to summit, and we're going to go back down. We're going to go up, and we're going to come back. And we're going to go back up, and then we're going to come back down. As long as I'm here, right? I'm in those meetings. I'm in those conversations. And
after this podcast, it may be a lot closer.
But seriously, I shit you not though. I don't think I'm a rocket science where I go, railroad streets fucking sucks. Like it sucks. Where is that on the whole priority?
And we did the sidewalk,
and it's a dead end over there too, right?
Hey,
it's not like it's very far.
No, we did the sidewalk for you. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but we did that for you. It looks really good.
But in all reality, tell me if my thinking's wrong, Ryan. You can knock every street out in here, but you're gonna have one police officer, one firefighter. Like, it's the priority of
the budget has to be spread out.
The budget has to be shared, and this chunk goes to this, and we're gonna have to piece it through.
We have 8 different businesses that we have to fund. There's no
Do you want streets and no police department?
Yep.
Do you?
And it goes when it comes to streets, it costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time.
Well, and your government, they think you're loaded.
We're not.
Yeah, we're brewery owners. They think we're loaded.
Well, even though we were talking about swimming in gold coins earlier, those aren't my gold coins.
Yeah, fair enough. So how do you want me to treat them?
And a lot of times those gold coins are restricted for specific purposes, like parks or like bridges and
earmarked.
Like they're earmarked for a particular reason. But when it comes to the road and streets, like there is a list of there is a process. Can the process be better? Well, all processes can be better, but I feel like we've done a huge amount of strides over the last 8 years on the process of road maintenance and roads repair.
But you're not doing it quick enough, and people aren't patient.
Correct.
That's the bottom
Well,
line.
and
That's the bottom line. And we have to be perfect every single time.
Absolutely.
I live on 15th Street, so I love the roads. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Oh, now the conspiracy theory is going to happen that we paved your roads because I'm on this podcast.
No. Well, that was long before I ever knew what you did. But yeah, I love it. What about making revenue though? So I put dispensaries on our list because we didn't talk about it ahead of time. But I hear AG is gathering a good amount of sales tax from dispensaries, and Paso's going through the conversation. Is this something in your opinion not in your opinion, but is this something that maybe could take place or no? Are you for it? Can you not say anything?
Are we going to smoke weed right now?
No.
What are we doing right now?
Frank
I'm high as fuck right now, to be honest with you.
I'm too wired up. That is not my jam, but so I'm not a big guy for not that I'm against it, but I hear that there's a lot of tax revenue with cities, and we're kind of behind the curve on that.
We are behind the curve about it. It is an interesting industry too. Grover Beach, not AG, but Grover Beach.
It's Grover Beach.
They were the ones that really embraced it, and they were the leaders in that whole industry. They got all of the benefits of being the first
and they
ones
are
out of
benefiting from that. Is that correct or no?
They are, but they're also realizing that this is not the gold mine that we thought it was going to be.
Good to know.
And
That's
so
actually
we still have to innovate, right? So
Smart.
And again, I'm not trying to be judgmental of this, but one of the things that they're looking at is consumption lounges.
Yeah,
that's not heard of in this county. But that's where they're at right now. They've been in the industry so long, where
so instead of a bar, you just go in and get high with your buddies. Yeah, that's called a garage.
I've never seen that. Well, they have it in Europe. It's funny, but yeah, I've never heard of that in America.
And then there's locker rooms, so you can just put your stash in the locker and go.
Will you let me know if you guys do that? And please let me do a food truck out front.
Frank will actually join the club right now. So I go to Europe. I think that there is this thing. So we're going to Europe here in just a little bit, actually. Germany, you go there and we talk about it here. It's like teenagers consume wine or alcohol, and it's not really that big of a deal. Do you think if we kind of open the door, not to the lounge per se, but if we have a dispensary, it's not that going to be that big of a deal? Or what's the thought process?
I feel like that's a more of a personal belief, but yeah.
And I understand
with any illicit market, I guess, out there too. If you're able to regulate it in a reasonable way, that's always better than just letting it just go.
And I guess it's unfair to ask you because you don't get to make that decision right now. You try to plan for it. What's your role in that?
But have you looked at the financials on that? Would it be worth it?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, there you go. Great question.
Great question. And honestly, the way I look at it is it's a break even. The amount of regulation that we would actually have to put on these industries.
So it's not the magic pill.
It's not the magic pill. So I'm honestly really surprised how much the wine industry is that magic pill, and how that successful has been for our city. And it's been more recently because I'm a data guy, and so when I look at transient occupancy tax over the last 15 years, TOT. We never dipped. The only time we dipped was in 2020 during COVID. Now we're dipping. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, we've never dipped ever before. And it has to do with the wine industry.
Yep.
Like, and you're hearing all the news about the storage and the lack of production that they're doing and the lack of consumption. It's trickling down into my numbers. And it's like, I didn't realize the wine industry is a core of this economic culture in our city. And there's no debate about it.
We had Toby James on here, and he said he never would have believed that the American wine industry would be where it's at right now. He said that. He said we're relatively new as a country to drinking wine. They drink wine for thousands of years in Europe, and yet here we sit, one of the top wine regions in the United States of America, and down a serious percentage.
And I love the fact that we have the opportunity to attract Sonoma and Napa wineries to cheaper land, because that's what we have to offer right now. Yeah. And it's been successful, honestly, for the last 5, 7, 10 years.
And as you know, you study business cycles. It is a cycle, it's cyclical, right? Everything rises to a point, and then it reconsolidates itself. It generates, and then it rises again. But there's always that initial dip of, and we're going through it in beer. We're just seeing less consumption as a whole. Our success here has not necessarily been just on beer. It's been on private parties, offering other entertainments, the family aspect.
Diversify.
Yeah, you got to diversify.
Oh, so I'm propping up your operations. Is that what I'm hearing?
You're what?
I'm propping up your operation. I'm drinking more beer. I'm doing more
You
beer.
are.
It's
Actually,
perfect.
you're committing to every part of it. Yeah. Yes. And so what is the other industry, just as any good business would do, you got to diversify. What's another industry you're investing in right now?
Well, that's actually, honestly, that's what actually emphasized the importance of diversifying our industry. We can't just be all on wine.
No.
And our economic development piece of the city is pretty solid too. We have a pretty cool plan over by the airport side of area. I mean, and we have the boys' school that has been bought by Majestic Realty, and they have a plan. It's ambitious, and there's a lot of years to be happen. But there's a whole tech corridor envision that we have in the city that could just open up that part of the city.
Because none of that's around here.
And especially with COVID, you could be remote work. You could still do the same work remote. And so we are trying to get connectivity so that, you're doing the same thing up in the Bay Area, just down here.
And Cal Poly's on board with the spaceport and things like that. So that's a big deal.
That's a great point. And I don't want to emphasize the importance of Cal Poly being a partner in all of this.
Because they're legit. I mean, not only are you alumni, but their word means something, not only national, not only statewide, but nationally. Their engineering programs and things that they're second to none, right?
Yeah, and how they accepted me into their program, I have no fucking clue. But thank you, I appreciate that.
And I'm a Sac State Hornet, and Cal Poly beat the Hornets this year once again. So
I graduated Buyer High.
There you go, National University alum.
UC Buyer High.
We hate the University of Phoenix. Basically, what are the new priorities of the city? We're going to transition to the positive stuff. Oh, I mean, we've been positive, but what are the priorities right now?
Really well without going down any negativity.
It's easy
I'm
to
proud
be
of us.
negative. Yeah, it's easy.
No, the biggest thing for any government entity is patience.
And what are the priorities right now of the city? What do you see as, your major
Good
patience,
Got it.
priorities?
Patience.
Yeah.
You were patient.
It's a documented report of what the vision of Paso Robles is. It's there. Like we have it.
Yes, but public people, can we come get it?
I'm here at Calcoast every day.
Anytime you want, you can sit down, you can get the report.
But no, it's all on our website. But it's especially more recently with all the political drama that's been occurring with the Tribune litigation, and we sit in these executive meetings and going like, this is all the shit that's going on in our city, right? We're having to pay $500,000 in settlements, right? No one likes that. Like that doesn't make anybody feel good. But the focus is on the goals.
Yeah,
it's on the infrastructure. It's on the recreation. It's on the homelessness. It's on the police. It's on the fire. And it's what's one thing. And I want to shout out to Chris Hewitt, our new city manager. He's really putting an emphasis on those goals and priorities, and that's what our purpose really, truly, honestly is. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's making the community a better place.
It absolutely is. And it's a great place, by the way.
Statistically, I would love to look at. I know we did a little payout, but I would love to see any other city.
Payout for what?
Yeah, hey, hold on. I'm on your side. Trying to, but every other city has probably had to do payouts or something along the way.
That's horrible.
It's part of. It's a horrible part of it, but
it's part of business. And
it's part of business. It's same with any small or government or anything. Like, that sucks. We don't like you, whoever it is. We need to get focused on our roads.
Correct.
Or fire department, and then, so it can't be personal here.
It's hard.
It's
hard not
part
to
of the business.
It's hard not to take it personally, and it's also more difficult too when these individuals are citizens and community members
Yeah.
that are suing
Hurting
the city.
their own
They're
community.
hurting. You're doing a
I
disservice.
am not
for-
justifying anything.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
No, and I don't think you necessarily
Yeah,
were,
no.
but
I'm just saying,
I want
like, there's angry people out there.
no matter what you do.
There is, and you guys are doing the best you're doing.
And I'm sure you guys have that same thing. I'm sure you guys get complaints all the
We do.
time about
Never heard one.
And then Jake did something, and it's like I can't ever imagine Jake doing anything ever.
So, you guys are crushing it. We appreciate.
Yeah, no, we're moving on to possibilities now.
Are we on the possibilities?
Oh, yeah,
What are the
let's
priorities
go.
and the goals?
Hey, so here we go.
Do you want to go? Budgets aren't tight.
Budgets. Well, I did. You like talking about that stuff. I love it. All right. So I said, hey, the budgets are not as tight as people think. It's just figuring out where to go. When I was in schools, it was funny because when I was in schools, like you would see a budget for, copy machines and it'd be 50. Tell us. No, we're skipping that. We're going to possibilities. Ready?
I love the clapping part.
All right. Tell us
Who
about
created clapping?
Tell us something we don't know about. I'm skipping down to the third one. Tell us about something we don't know about the city of Paso that's going on here.
The 10, 20, 15, 20-year vision of how this community is going to be built out.
People are coming here.
I'm sorry, that was a question.
Yes. And people are coming here, whether we like it or not.
They are coming. We're building houses, and it is a little bit of a distaste when you hear who is coming into those houses, and it's Orange County and San Francisco Bay Area. But you have to embrace it. It is what it is, and we have a lot of great projects.
That should be good for your general fund, though, right?
Yes and no, but right, people come more services and more calls of services and more road maintenance. Right? It's
toilets out to flush, lights out to turn on.
And if there's anything else to be learned about the new developments, they all have this new component. It's called the Community Facilities District tax. So they're paying more taxes coming into these homes than any other person in this entity.
Because they're new? Is it because they're new?
Because they're new, and we realize that property taxes aren't covering the cost of services.
Do they know that?
They see the percent of tax.
I don't think they care. They're from Orange County.
And
Okay.
and I kid you not, so seriously, all these new houses that are being built on the east side of town, they really are having a 1.9% tax burden on the $1 million home that they're purchasing.
Yeah.
Which is mind-boggling to me.
But remember,
they're buying these homes, and they're still doing it.
It's not mind-boggling. So here's why. Econ major from Sac State, put it where it is. The reality is this is a desirable area, and there are a bunch of people who have plenty more money than the people who live here, and they think this place is cheap still. They don't know a place where you can live 20 miles from the ocean and you can buy a house for $800,000. And so the reality is we don't have an affordable housing problem. This is my own opinion. We have a housing problem. People want to live here, and we don't have enough houses. So whether you build them for apartments or you build them as $1.9 million houses, you still need more because either way, they're expensive. And the sad part is if you don't look around quickly and take stock of where we are, we're going to end up Carmel, where people who have the means are going to buy the houses. They're going to live here half the year. They're going to live in Montana for the summer and here in the winter or whatever. And you're not going to have room for your kids to live here. And so you've got economically, we need more houses because they're coming here. It's a beautiful area.
I can't tell you how
People
many,
are coming here.
I can't tell you how many times I have conversations in these meetings where it's like it's the economy dumb and stupid. Like, and I don't mean to call people stupid, but it's
the
like
economy.
It's supply and demand. Like when it comes to houses, it honestly at the end of the day it comes to there's not enough supply.
No, and the fires didn't help. So those fires down there displaced those LA people to my friends in Ventura, and the friends in Ventura said, I don't want to live with all the LA people. And now they're coming here. It's just a natural progression because they want to go back to.
And one thing that's interesting, if we're getting into these details too, whereas like 5, 6, 7 years ago when the interest rates were super, super low and people, they were selling people like now people are locked into their 1.5, 1.9 mortgage rates. They're not selling no matter what it is that they're doing.
No, hell
they're
no.
not selling it. And so you're not seeing that turnover like we saw before, because there was an emphasis of like, it doesn't matter what you build, as long as you build houses, it'll turn over.
Just build.
And that's not the case right now. People are kind of set right now. And so we need to be more conscientious of what we're building, because it needs to be more of an equilibrium.
Yeah.
Yep. And it should change. I mean, obviously, the cyclical process, those interest rates are going to come down at some point, and, it's going to take off again. But this place won't be less desirable. It just won't.
It won't.
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
Not
City,
at all.
a couple of things I wanted
Where we
to...
at?
I wanted people to know about some positive... there's a lot of positive things. The city lights downtown, we're starting to light up the Christmas lights. That is amazing. Love it.
When's that hit?
There should be some tests.
There's some right now. There's some lights in
really?
the tree right now.
It might have been last night.
You flip the lights on the day after Thanksgiving. Like the lights have to be ready.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think last night I think there was a little test run of kind of a preliminary.
Look good?
Yeah.
I
didn't see it.
Oh no, it looks amazing. And the thing is, that has to generate
Well, you would
revenue.
get a text if it didn't look good.
I just know how much it costs.
I saw the green. But does it generate revenue outside?
They're all
does it
on
make
solar.
money?
You're good.
I'm gonna say no.
No comment.
No, I'm gonna say no.
Oh,
It
well, I
brings
love
people in, though.
I love
No,
it.
it brings people. No question about it. It brings people in, and I hope businesses.
I would say
we
it
do shit
brings
like
revenue.
that for businesses. We don't do that for
But
businesses.
us,
It helps.
this filters through us to your general fund.
But
Okay,
if
I'm
you want
gonna
to,
give
if you want
you
to go
the
money
answer.
in versus money out, no, that's a money loser definitely for this.
No, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you the answer though. I'm gonna help you because on your side it may appear that way, but you don't see the revenue that we get coming in.
Oh, yeah. We
on
get
the
a
other side
shitload of people because of it.
I'm glad someone
Remember what the park looked like? It was completely pitch black
dark. Yeah.
with no one there. And I will say, people are coming to Paso because of the lights. We see people saying, "Oh yeah, we came to see the downtown lights and things like that."
Yeah, they also want them year round too.
What's that?
They also want them year round.
I love them year round, so I'm a
We do
proponent.
too.
I'm a proponent. I love it.
Does that mean a road's
can,
going
we-
out
can,
another
can we
2
talk
years?
shit about Tascadero too? Because you see what they're doing.
Oh,
there's
I
a
mean,
trend.
Well,
you
we're
can
not
say
gonna-
they got
I
new
did
downtown part, but at Tascadero, how does that work between the two cities? You're definitely trying to attract businesses, but you're also trying to work together, right?
Well, I think that honestly, if we're taking this even a step further back too, I think that's what the state perspective of it is. When these entities bicker and like even between us and the county, like
I feel like we got a huge overview.
Jesus Christ, we talked for 2 hours.
We
yeah,
did.
I know. So,
We did.
So
I have to go pee again too.
all right.
All right. Well, that's good because Frank is trying to close it out right
Yeah,
now.
because I got to go too. So, Ryan, we appreciate anything you want to tell the listeners. Something around the line of patience with government.
There is a plan.
There is a
always
plan.
a plan.
There is
right?
a plan, and what's interesting, right? When it comes to like leadership and especially when it comes to government, you don't know what leaders you're putting into place.
Right.
And if anything from this podcast, have a conversation with me. Like I know I'm bringing the right messaging in, and I know the team that I have, the eight other directors, we all care about the city. We are a really solid city team, and we have a common goal. And yes, it takes patience, and there's a lot of activity out there as far as productivity, but we're doing the right things.
Yeah. Your dad, you have the wallet, and you have all the kids that want a little chunk of it.
Everybody
And you got to
wants
make it
Except-
last for everybody,
Yeah, except
which
when
is
when I
hard.
tell them no, and then they're like, "Well, fuck."
Yeah,
you.
well, you know what? That's what it is. But you know what? Next month, maybe you get a little. So that's got you're
All
in
right.
you're in the toughest position. So Ryan, we appreciate you.
There you go.
Hey, thanks for closing it out.
Cheers. We're glad to have you.
Cheers.
2 hours later.
Yeah.
Love you.